Well, at least in 18.5, you gotta choose your workout. In 18.5, you chose thrusters and chest to bar pull-ups. So for the thrusters, a lot of quad and a lot of glutes. For the chest to bar pull-ups, we had a lot of lat, pecs, and also some biceps. So in this video, we'll go over a couple different recovery exercises to help decrease any muscle soreness and also to help improve your range of motion. Let's start off with a few mobility exercises that will help with recovery from the chest to bar pull-ups. We're going to start with using a foam roller for the lats. So I'm going to lay on my side with the foam roller in my armpit. I'm going to rotate my body back just a little bit so that way I'm focusing more on the lats than on the pecs on the front. We can also use a lacrosse ball to get a little bit more specific on the lats. So everything is the same. I'm still on my side with my arm up overhead. And I'm going to have the lacrosse ball on the back side of the armpit where the lats are. And then I'll just slowly roll up and down. One nice little variation here is that we can flex and extend the arm. The lats and the triceps share the same fascial line. So this helps to stretch both of those muscles. So we'll pair the dynamic mobility exercise before with a static stretch for the lats. So I'm going to have a band anchored up overhead. It works great to tie the band onto a squat rack. And I'm going to be in a quadruped position. And then I'm going to rock my hips back down towards my feet. As you'll also notice, my thumb is pointed up towards the ceiling. So we want to have some external rotation as that'll help stretch out the lats a little bit more. Another variation, if we want to stretch just a little bit more, is that I actually have my body rotated a little bit, so now my arm is going up over my head. This will get a better stretch for the lats. Again, keep your thumb pointed up towards the ceiling, and so you should feel this stretch in on the back side of the shoulder and in the armpit area. And you want to hold this for somewhere between 15 to 30 seconds and then repeat on the other side. Next, we'll target the pec muscles. So we'll start off with the classic doorway stretch. My elbow is going to be at about shoulder height, and I'm going to put my hand up on the wall, and then I'll rotate my body away from the wall, and I should feel a nice stretch on the front side of the chest. I can also put my arm up a little bit higher, so I'm targeting some of the different pec fibers. Again, just rotating my body away from the wall. We can use the lacrosse ball as well to kind of target some of those individual pec fibers. So I'm going to place the lacrosse ball below my collarbone, and then I'll pin it up against the wall. And then I'll use my body and go up and down, left and right, really kind of scanning the whole pec muscle. With 18.5, there was a lot of overhead work with the thrusters and the chest to bar pull-ups. So we can modify this pec stretch to accommodate those kind of movements by simply just moving our arm up and down. So everything remains the same with the lacrosse ball on the pec just below the collarbone. And then we'll just slowly move our arm up overhead. This is just a view from the back side, so you can kind of see that arm moving up and down. Just helps mobilize the pec muscle in an overhead position. Next, we'll use the foam roller for the quads, which were definitely a muscle group that was hit with the thrusters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just lay on the foam roller, and I'm going to simply roll from just above the kneecap to in front of the hip. And so I can also rotate from left to right, so I'm getting the vastus lateralis and vastus medialis muscles on both the outside and inside portions of the quad. And then we'll also do foam rolling for the glutes, which were also the other muscle group that was primarily hit with the thrusters. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit on the foam roller at about a 45-degree angle, and I'm going to cross my leg over the other side. That'll help stretch the glute so that we get a little bit more effective stretch here. And then I'm just going to roll up towards my belt line and then down towards the top of the hamstring. We'll finish up with a 90-90 mobilization. So this is just a static stretch for both the glutes and the hips. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit on the ground with my knees bent at 90 degrees. And then I'm going to lean towards my front knee, keeping my hips on the ground. And then I'll switch to go to my back leg, which will work the internal rotators. And then we're going to slowly just transition to the other side, so that'll help stretch the adductor muscles. And then we'll simply just repeat on the other side. So I'm going to lean towards my front leg, stretching the front glute, and then go towards the back leg, which will stretch the internal rotators of the back leg.